Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Industrial Waste lecture. We have 26
I can't do that.
And I don't even know why. It's gonna make out with that. So yesterday, I put my name on the LSD and her run has been on that. The run.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Industrial Waste lecture. I believe we have 26 students on this lecture. I do know a significant portion of you were just came off a previous lecture with me, but there are some new people that have joined this lecture because this course is also available to the chemical engineering technology program. So unfortunately, for that large group of people who had to listen to me talk for 2 hours, you're going to hear me go through some of the other, some of the same things that we went through before, right? And one of the first thing I would like to just mention, first off, I'd just like to welcome you all. Unfortunately, this is a lecture only class, so I'm not going to be able to, anyone who is in just this course and not my other course, unless we happen to run into each other at the college, we probably will not meet face to face. So that's unfortunate, but that's what we have to do because of the pandemic. So we started off on the last one with just giving a little outline on Zoom. In previous semesters, Durham College has used Bongo as the delivery mechanism for the online lectures. They are switching to Zoom. Bongo is still available for a couple more months, but because we would have to switch probably before the end of the semester, I opted to start right from the beginning using Zoom Scholar. I guess that this is a question more so for the people who are on this Zoom lecture that were not on this morning's one. Are you guys comfortable with the Zoom setup, or would you like me to go through some of the functions of Zoom that we will be using? Okay. Okay, so I have one, yeah, I think I'm good, but then I have two yes. Would those be yes, you're comfortable with Zoom, or yes, you would like me to just do a quick rundown? Okay. So Gavin is comfortable. Omar, are you comfortable with Zoom? And Omar, you can either respond to me in the chat or you can unmute yourself and just respond. Okay, so it looks like everyone is comfortable with the workings of Zoom. So no, maybe no sense getting into the minute details of how Zoom works. So our lectures will be presented on Zoom. I did put a link right on the homepage of your DC Connect site for this course. I believe that link is working okay. So at the time of your lecture, you just need to click on that link. For the people in waste that are just in waste, you will have two links there, one for the Thursday lecture, one for the Friday. So just be sure that you click on the correct one for the Friday lecture. Last year, most of the lectures were recorded. And in many instances, the recordings were posted to DC Connect very shortly after the lecture was recorded. I am actually recording the lectures, but how those lectures are going to be posted and if they are going to be posted remains to be seen. It certainly won't be an instantaneous posting of them. The lectures are not compulsory. You do not have to attend your lectures as long as you complete all your homework and your assignments and pass your tests. You can theoretically pass this course by not attending. But I would like to see everyone, where possible, attend the lectures. So for that reason, I may delay a little bit posting them if I do opt to post them. Maybe if some of you or all of you could maybe just send me an email at some point in time and just tell me what your thoughts are on posting these lectures. Is it something you would like to see the lectures posted so that you can review them, or you're just happy just attending them? Okay, so that's pretty well, I guess, all we have to say about Zoom. We have no labs, so we don't have to worry about dealing with field notebooks or anything like that. I just want you guys just to be patient with me just for a moment, because the one issue that I am having is that it's not the easiest process to share screen. It's something that hopefully I will get better with, but I am sharing my screen now, and essentially what you should all see is the DC Connect page for the industrial waste course. Right, so I'm going to go to the course content, and we're going to we'll start with the welcome section first. It does say there to read this section first. So this is the general welcome page. It just gives you a link to DC Connect for students. I'm sure you guys have all, actually I shouldn't say that, because I do know there's from talking in my last class, there are some students who are first-time students, so it may be beneficial for them to go and check this DC Connect video on how to use DC Connect. Some what my expectations are for you guys as your role as a student. So that's the welcome page. The next one is meet your professor. As I'd said to the earlier group, I graduated from Durham College back in 1995. One thing that I did omit from the earlier group is once I graduated from Durham College's Environmental Technology program, I then went and took the Ryerson University Occupational Health and Safety program. So I actually do have qualifications in both environmental and occupational health and safety. In 1997, I started Cardinal Environmental Consulting Services Limited, and shortly thereafter, a connected entity called Cardinal Engineering Services. We deal primarily with industrial clients. As far as this industrial waste program goes, my experience with my industrial clients is that, for many of our industrial clients, we assist them in their management of their industrial waste. We help them characterize their waste. We help them manage the waste manifesting system. We deal extensively with the connection between Transportation of Dangerous Goods Act and hazardous waste regulations and the manifesting requirements there. And we also deal extensively, which is probably one of the bigger parts of our business, is that we complete upwards of 40 national pollutant release inventory submissions to Environment Canada every year for our industrial clients. So the NPRI database and the workings of the database are part of this course. So I do have extensive experience in that area. When we get to a non-hazardous waste, when we're dealing with essentially municipal or non-hazardous industrial waste, we do get involved in that from an industrial and commercial perspective. We do a lot of 3 hours audits and assist clients comply with the 3 hours regulations. One of the areas we don't do a lot of work in is the municipal sector. So we don't, we typically do not deal with too much with blue box programs and things like that. All right. So that's a little bit about me. It will be difficult for me to learn too much about you guys because we won't be meeting in person, but we will get by. The learner support section, just a page with a series of links that links you to various policies and services that Durham College offers for students. So you can go into this page if you're looking, for policies surrounding accessibility. You can go into that page and link to them. All right, and the last page is the course institutional policy. So this is basically just links to the college's policies surrounding a course integrity, right? So basically policies surrounding student conduct, personal data, academic integrity, and how to, excuse me, how to cite properly. I know the majority of the people on this call, or at least I believe the majority, are third-year students, so you should be well familiar with the academic integrity policies and how to cite any work that you submit to me as your professor, probably. The long and the shorts of academic integrity is plagiarism, any kind of plagiarism, and any kind of cheating on tests or quizzes is unacceptable, and at the bare minimum is punished with a mark of 0. So we are, and I mentioned this in the last course I just did. You're all in your third year. You're going to be graduating at the end of third year, and you're all going to be entering the workplace as professionals. And when you're working in the workplace as professionals, integrity is it's a major thing. I mean, your integrity is the one thing that that you have to protect. I know that maybe not on a daily basis, but on a weekly basis, I deal with enforcement officers with the Ministry of the Environment and from the Ministry of Labour and Environment Canada. And my integrity in those dealings can really be unquestionable, because if you do get yourself into a position where that they feel that they have to question your integrity, life can become very difficult for you. So, as I like to say, start young, start while you're in college. Make sure as you go through the course, your academic integrity, is top notch, and that you cite your work properly. Okay, so that's the course policies. I believe that's everything that is in the welcome page. What I will say before we move on to the course outline is the best way to contact me is either directly through DC Connect or by sending me an email. I am teaching this semester at Durham College as a partial load professor. So that essentially what that means is I'm between a contract professor and a full-time professor. My workload falls in between. I still am actively running Cardinal Environmental, but I do commit to that if you send me an email that within 48 hours, you will receive a response to that. What I would like to ask you to do is, though, not to send me an email at 6 p.m. on a Friday and expect a response on the weekend. I will try to respond to it, But if there's an issue that you need to email me, try and get it to me ahead of the end of day Friday. Or you could be looking at Monday, Tuesday, or potentially even Wednesday the next week till I get back to you. But I will commit to you that I will respond to my emails as quickly as I can. One other thing that I would like to mention is there was when I finished the last lecture, there was some administrative activities that took place with Zoom. And while those activities were taking place in the background, I was unable to start the next meeting. So if I am a couple of minutes, we only have 10 minutes between my last lecture and this lecture. If I'm a couple of minutes late, it's because these activities are taking place where Zoom is storing information from the last meeting. One of the things it's doing is it's storing the 2-hour lecture, and that was actually quite time consuming. So if I'm not on right at 11:10, just bear with me and I will get on the call as soon as I can. So let's take a look at the course outline. The course outline is essentially the rules for this course. It's the rules that we're putting out up front, and it's what we will abide by, and that is important when it comes to the marking scheme. I will not change the marking scheme midway through the course, so it comes as a surprise to you guys that, boy, you're not getting X amount of a percentage of your mark based on homework. Now more of it's on your test. Whatever this course outline says, your course is going to be weighted on. That is what it's going to stay at, right? So the course description. So this is a lecture only course, so it will be presented synchronously online only. There's no option for us to do in-person lectures, and the topics that we will be covering are essentially the definition of industrial waste, the sources, types, and classification of industrial wastes, regulatory requirements for industrial and hazardous treatment, handling, waste minimization practices, and a comprehensive coverage of primary waste treatment and emission control technologies. I have went through the course that has been presented in the past, and I see that the course seems to be somewhat weighted towards non-hazardous and municipal waste. We will touch on those areas, but I would like to, because of the type of programs that we're in, being environmental and chemical technology, I would like to lean more towards the industrial waste component of it. That area is significantly more technical than the non-hazardous and municipal waste requirements. I will be introducing to you as we go through the course and we look at the MPRI database. I'm going to give you 2 perspectives on the MPRI database. I'm going to give you the perspective of it from the public's perspective, but I'm also going to give you as students the perspective of the National Pollutant Release Inventory submission, the preparation and submission process from an industrial coordinator type position, and also from a consultant's role. How do we prepare those MPRI submissions? How do we come up with the information that a member of the public can go online and see? Okay, so I do see Aaron has his hand up. Now, let me just... Okay, so apparently two friends are having problems attending the lecture. I need to address why they are having issues getting on this link. It seems to me that the majority of people seem to be able to join without issue. So I need to resolve that. Can I share the link? I will share the link. Okay, so this lecture itself may not be too important that this link be shared because we're going through the course, basically the outline of the course. Other lectures, I mean, to me, it is important that you attend wherever possible. So I need to understand why these students are not getting into the lecture. And Ria, if you could maybe message your friends and ask them if they can contact me by email and just detail to me why they could not attend the lecture, then I'll see what we can do to address that. As far as sharing the link goes, I probably, wait 1 second. So according to Aaron, there's people in the waiting room that I have not. Okay, Aaron, I don't know how you realized that there were people in the waiting room. If you know of any of those people, can you ask them if they were just able to join? Because I believe I've just now given them access. This is why it's important that we are all on at 11:10, because at 11:10 I essentially started the meeting. I was given the pop-up to admit everyone in the meeting room, which I did. I could see Zoom going through the process of connecting all these people. So some people joined at some point in time after that, and it was not obvious to me that those people were sitting in the waiting room, right? The one way around that is to make sure that you're in the meeting room at 11:10. Aaron or Melissa, on the last lecture, did you have to go into a meeting room, or did you just automatically go right into the meeting? Do you know? Either of you? Or anyone else who was on the meeting? Yeah, so it appears that it happened automatically. So I need to go back into this meeting and see why everyone was placed into a meeting room, because obviously it would be a lot better if everybody just joined automatically. Someone who just joined does not have their microphone muted, so if everyone could just check their microphones and just mute, I would appreciate it. Okay. So essentially, I've been through the welcome section of the course. I have been through the introduction. I've introduced myself to the students. That probably wasn't the most exciting part of the meeting, so it's probably not that important if anybody missed that. But now I'm going through the course outline, and we're at essentially the course description. So I've just went through the course description and how essentially this is a course on industrial waste and the regulatory requirements surrounding industrial hazardous waste treatment, handling, and minimization. So we are that is essentially what the course is about. And as I had mentioned, I may focus, and I probably will focus more on the technical side of this. I don't know how you feel about this, but that will introduce us to some math in this course. The math by itself is that we will be doing is fairly basic. But if we do get to a section where I do introduce to you some math and you find that you struggle with that, just let me know, and I will do whatever I can to assist you. This outlines the course learning objectives. It tells you over on the left-hand side, for example, the first learning objective is you'll be able to describe and compare different concepts of efficient resource use and handling. That is an objective that you should that we should be able to provide to you when we're finished this course. The next pages of the course outline, and I just want to step back a little bit because there were 6 people that were stuck in that waiting room, and I do know missed a good part of my earlier introduction. But one of the things that is important to me, and I will be watching for, is on the academic integrity side. So when you're doing assignments, when you're handing in homework, I will be looking for plagiarism. All your homework, all your assignments, any written homework and assignments that are going to be submitted are independent. Yes, you can work with classmates, but your submission is independent. So I don't want to see a group of submissions all identical, because your submissions are supposed to be done independently. So plagiarism and any form of cheating, you know, at the first case of that gets you a 0. Subsequent cases would likely result in escalation through the college policies that deal with those things. And I give a little bit of a lecture on how integrity is important. So I am very confident that I'm not going to see any of that with you guys, right? So evaluation criteria that outlines, some notes there. What's going to happen? Lectures are not compulsory, right? But if there's a lecture and you need to miss that lecture where there's a test taking place, it provides the rules surrounding that and what you need to do to let me know that you're going to miss that test, and what some of the penalties are for missing tests and late assignments that come in late. All the assignments, I believe, in this are set up, and they will have to be set up so that you will submit your assignments digitally. DC Connect has a due date for those assignments, and essentially what it tells me as the instructor is that you have submitted your assignment, but then if I get an assignment pops up 5 days after the fact, I get a pop-up that says this assignment has just been submitted, it's 5 days late. And you can see in the rules there is a penalty of 15% per day it's late. So you can very quickly get up to a 0. I encourage you all to get on top of your assignments and get them submitted, on time. If you believe there are issues that why you can't get it submitted on time, contact me, and then we can maybe we can discuss it. But it is automatic when you submit it online that I will be notified that you have submitted your assignment late. Required texts and supplies. There are no required texts that you need to go out. There are a whole series of recommended resources. All of these resources are available online, and there are links to them in the on this page, so you can go to these pages and go to those links and take a look at the resources that are there. So what I would maybe suggest to you guys is that excuse me, if we do a lecture and there's something that maybe you didn't understand or you want more information on, or if you're struggling with, let me know, and then I can maybe point you to some of these resources or provide you some other assistance that might help you succeed in the course. We have some general course outlines, and then we get to the learning plan. So this is the learning plan, and this is the schedule that we intend to, where at all possible, stick to. So Omar, you have raised your hand. Would you like to unmute yourself and ask a question, or have you asked a question in the chat? Will there be class quizzes or just weekly homework? In-class quizzes, so we went through the example of how I can set up polls. I may potentially set up some polls that are essentially quizzes that you will answer when you are online. When we disconnect, one of the other administrative functions that Zoom does is that puts all those polls into a format that I can see as to who answered correctly and who answered incorrectly. What I will also say though is if up in the course outline, and I'm not sure that I've actually seen it in this one yet. Yeah, so we right here on the course outline, there does not appear to be any course marks for quizzes. So you will not get a quiz which will affect these course marks, right? So I guess essentially the answer to your question, Omar, is no, is that there will not be quizzes that you will need to complete that could affect your course mark, right? You see here, there's presentation, makes up 10% of your mark. There will be, after the fall reading week, part of this course is that we will be doing individual presentations, right? I'm gonna have to look at the number of students that are in the course. I think we were up to 42. So depending on the number of students is going to depend on the time or the length of time that these presentations are going to take place on. But for this point in time, we'll assume that everyone is going to do a presentation to their classmates for a 10-minute period, and that will go for 2 or 3 of our lectures, likely at the beginning of end of October, beginning of November. So essentially, it'll be done over Zoom the same way as I'm presenting to you. That student will be given control of the Zoom classroom to present their overheads. They will be on video, and they will make their presentation. So I hope that I do know from my experience back in the day when I was in Durham College, there was a lot of stress went around our class ahead of these presentations, when we knew that we had to get up in front of a class of 100, 150 students and make a presentation. So I can relate to the fact that there may be some stress on doing these presentations. But again, this is a very important skill for you to learn, because if you end up out there in a professional capacity, you are going to have to give presentations to various groups. And if there's one thing I can assure you of, is that the more of these you do, the more comfortable you get doing them, and the less the stress around them becomes. I'm now at the point in my career where I can give a 3-hour presentation, zero stress, and and comfortably do it. So try not to stress too much on these presentations, but you will have to do a presentation. And then of course, there's 5% of your weighting goes on to a class. It's actually an assignment in which you will submit to me a small summary of the presentations. So essentially, what presentations you liked, what you didn't like, and that won't be at a personal level. That'll be at a technical level. For example, you might say, that student you really you thought student A's were very valuable because it presented, lots of good technical information on this, right? So that submission is worth 5%. There are then 5 assignments each, right? Each one of those assignments are rated at 5%, so they're worth 25% of your mark. There is a test, midterm, which will be classified as a midterm test, which is worth 30%, and there's a midterm or a final test that's also worth 30%, and that's how we get our 100%. These mark weightings will not change, and I will not be throwing anything in here other than this that would affect this weighting. So you can see that the presentation and the assignment relating to the presentation, it's going to be important that you attend those lectures, because it's unlikely that I will be posting those lectures before that assignment is due. So it's going to be very difficult to do that assignment unless you're attending the lectures. And I do know who attends each lectures. I do get a list at the end, so I do know who is attending each one. So essentially, that is it. That is that is our course outline. Policies and expectations for the learning environment, course specific policies. I think we've been through all this. And then our schedule. As I say, I intend to, where possible, stay to this schedule until the course is over at the end of the semester. We will be doing some in-class review before we go into these tests, and you always have the option to contact me ahead of the tests and ask for clarification or help. What I will do, and I didn't mention this in the other course too, if there is a particular area where we seem to have several people struggling with, or if I did not manage to convey the information satisfactory and there's some confusion, I will arrange some side meetings where we can maybe get together for half an hour or so, and we can go back over some of the material if you find that valuable. Okay, so that is something that I will do. Okay, so essentially that is the course outline. In DC Connect, you can see that we have week 1 is set up. So if you click on Unit 1, Week 1, that's the Week 1 PowerPoint presentations. Now, I don't know, and maybe somebody in the chat can tell me, but do you guys have the option to download those PowerPoint presentations? Is that something that's available to you guys? You guys can go in there before you even come to lecture. Okay, all right. So yeah, so you guys can theoretically go in there at any time and download those PowerPoints. So they are there. Unit 1 is there. Week 2, Unit 1, the PowerPoint presentation is there. I took this course on fairly late in the game, so I am still going through some of the PowerPoints, and I am making some amendments to them. I will post them as early as I can, and make sure that they're up there. Certainly, well in advance of the next lecture. But I would just try and encourage it, just because you can get those PowerPoint presentations, not to rely on that too much and not attend lectures, and just go with downloading the PowerPoint presentation. So essentially, that is all that is in DC Connect now. And as I say, I'm assuming that we're all familiar with DC Connect and that are comfortable using it. I do know there are some students, fast track students that potentially this is the first time that they're in Durham College, first time they're seeing DC Connect. Use some of the resources that are out there to become familiar with DC Connect, and make sure that you know how to how to use it. Monitor the course announcements, and also monitor your DC mail in the event that I ought to send you all an email message. Okay, all right. So at this point in time, do you guys have any questions? Does anybody have any questions at all? I'll stop sharing my screen for a second. Now, one of my issues here is that I cannot see everybody on the same screen. So so if anyone has a question about anything. Okay, do we have to go over Unit 1 on our own time, or are we going to do it in class? No, we're going to do Unit 1 in class. The introduction and the kind of the administrative part of these lectures has taken me quite a bit longer than I anticipated. Today's class is only 1 hour in length, so that essentially means that we're not going to get to the Unit 1 lecture today. So we're going to start off tomorrow with the Week 1 Unit 1 lecture. We'll probably get through all or most of that. If we get through all of it, then we will start off into unit 2. Okay, I am quite confident that we can still meet the schedule of the course by starting the course material tomorrow. Okay, so Omar asked that question. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, so apparently I either answered all of your questions in my introduction to the course, or I have confused you all so much that you don't know where to start. Hopefully it's the former and not the latter. If you do think of any questions, feel free to email me. We only have 9 minutes left in this. Okay, so what are some examples for presentation topics? Okay, so you can see in the first presentation, it leans heavily on what I would classify. I'm just going to share the screen again as non-hazardous um, waste. Let me just see if this will download quickly. But in the first lecture, we talked quite a bit about, how did we get to where we are um, uh, in the waste regulatory environment in Ontario and Canada. What's the history of that? Identifying historical issues. We're going to look at the kinds of waste, solid waste, liquid waste, and gaseous emissions. What I'd said earlier is that I want to focus on this course more so on the technical aspects. So we're going to be looking at things like the hazardous waste information network systems that's used to manage hazardous waste in Ontario. We're going to look at the National Pollutant Release Inventory database. I would suspect we're going to spend a fair bit of time in there. We're going to look at, from an industrial perspective, industrial waste treatment systems that are out there. Of course, that's industrial wastewater treatment, and also control options for gaseous emissions. We're going to look at what some of those control options are, and some of the technical information surrounding those control options, and how certain ones would be selected over other control options. And we're going to look at some of this thing from a public aspect. Any member of the public can access most of the environmental information that's out there. So we're going to take a look. We're going to take a look at that. And even though we're going to be looking at this more from a professional aspect, looking at this from a personal aspect is also important as well. We are dealing right now with an issue where a person has purchased a house in an area that's very close to a large industrial plant, and they bought the house, moved in, and the first night they were in there, they were lying in bed and realized their house was shaking from the vibration that was being caused by that plant. But all that information is available to the public, and if you know how to use it, you can use it to your advantage when you make significant purchases like homes, so that you can assess what is in this area. And is this a good area where I would want to live, or is it an area where potentially I could run into problems caused by these industrial plants and the industrial waste that they generate? So hopefully you find the course interesting. I'm going to use my experience as much as I can to make the course as interesting as I can for you guys. If there's anything that you think you would like to see specifically in this course that I can present to you without altering the course outline too significantly, let me know, and I'll take a look and see if I can get that into one of the outcomes. So hopefully I answered that. We'll email you with our answer to the post. We email you with our answer to the post. Yeah. Yeah, just email me with what your thoughts are with the posting of these lectures. So coming into the program and using Zoom right off the get-go, there's a significant change as to how the professors make those recordings available to students. Uh, it's not just like we cannot just post it directly to DC Connect anymore. So we need to, from an instructor's perspective, we need to find out what is our options to share these lectures with you guys. Keeping in mind that when I graduated, lecture recordings were not available. So it wasn't an option that was available to us, but I can see how that can be, they can be available to students so that they can review any lectures that they want to review after the fact. So I think I will make those lectures available, but the how and the why and the when of that still needs to be figured out. And I will let you know as soon as that has happened. Okay, so it's 11:56. We're going to get done a couple of minutes early. One more time, any more questions that anyone has? No? Okay, all right. So I believe that we are at this bright and early tomorrow morning, 8:10. So I will see you guys at 8:10 tomorrow morning, and we will get started on Unit 1. Okay, all right. So thanks for attending, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.